Hello, everybody. Hi, Scotty. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Chris. How are you?
Doing good. I just wanted to pick up today and continue our conversation with kind of onboarding ourselves to the platform, doing a little bit of interactive viewing of our dashboard, and following up with a couple things we didn't hit in part one of this exercise. So how about we just jump right in?
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, as you can see, I just logged on and I'm back on my dashboard. So coming back to this, I know last time we kind of jumped off from the dashboard and got into our race view. So I wanted to start today back on our dashboard view and talk about this idea of, I see this top chalk section right here. Can you tell me a little bit about what this is, how it's calculated, and what do you do with it?
So a lot of times when you're handicapping, you're looking for horses that have a high percentage, right? Instead of having to search for them through every single race, essentially what the dashboard is, it's going to take you straight to these things. And this is one of those. It'll give you horses that are 40% or above in win percentage right here. And you can sort it. You can click it down right there if you want to. Yeah. So you can see Aqueduct, there's a 67% horse in race number 1 called BC Glory Days, 8-5 right now on the current odds. And then if you click on it, it'll take you to the race. Okay. So go ahead and click on that and it'll take you to this race number 1 at Aqueduct, and you can see BC Glory Days, in fact, is 67%. And then if you want, you can go back to the dashboard by clicking on the logo of, or the name of EquinEdge right there. Click on that and it'll take you straight back to the dashboard.
Yeah, so that's pretty slick. And I did notice when we clicked over, that horse is 8-5 morning line, 1-1 on our EE morning line. So if we can get better than even money, we're probably getting a bit of an overlay. But I like to be able to sort this by the live odds. Here, Fauner Park, we've got a horse that's 12-1 listed at a 40% possible win. So right. Keep an eye on that and see what's going on. And, knowing what we know, this morning line's probably off by quite a bit. So let's see how much this horse.
I'm curious to see what the EE morning line is. Click on that horse and let's go back to that. I'm curious. So you might find some value there. So the EE morning line on that horse, 41% is 3-1. And what's the odds makers morning line on this horse?
9-2.
All right, so it's early in the wagering though, too, to be fair. Yeah. It doesn't go off until 1:30 Eastern time, or sure. You're Central, right?
Yeah.
And so 1:30, so it has some time. So it's early. You're never going to get 12-1 on this horse. It's not going to happen. It's going to come down. Right.
So it's a good way just to kind of keep track there. Home early Shirley. My grandma's name's Shirley, so we'll see what happens with that. Got to play the grandma names.
Well, sometimes you got to play those hunch plays for sure.
Yeah. So, that's kind of what I'm looking for here. I'm, obviously, if a horse is, 33% to win, that's a 3-1.
3-1. You're looking for a horse 3-1 in order to bet, just to bet it to win. But see, when I play like in tournaments or I'm playing, as you know, I'm looking for these top chalk. I use the top chalk a lot because I'm looking for key horses. I played in a tournament last weekend and I was betting every one of these key horses. And the problem is that, in the cash format that I was playing in, I needed a horse to come in the exacta or the trifecta, and I just couldn't do it. But I did cover my bets with win bets so that I got my money back. Now, some people would say, well, are you going to bet a 3-5 shot to win? Probably not. But if I could get even money and then I could go bet, let's just say $500 total, and then I would maybe bet $250 to win on that even money. So if it does win, and because if I like it that much, I'll bet $250 on it, and then I'll bet another $250 in either exactas and trifectas. And unfortunately, I couldn't get any of those exactas and trifectas, but I was getting the win. So that's the way I play. So people say, well, I don't play favorites. Well, there's a lot of different ways to wager, not just to win. I'm not betting these favorites just to win. I'm betting to get my money back on my exotic bets and hoping to hit my exotic bets. That's what I'm trying to do. And if I do, then I'm going to have a good day. If I don't, maybe I break even, lose a little bit of money.
Got it. That's a great, and that's something that in our group we talk about a lot is how do you give yourself that upside and not empty your bankroll? And that, what you just said is spot on, like taking those longer odds horses, covering yourself with win bets on the top chalk so that then really our exotic payouts are always incremental.
Right.
It's awesome. So let's talk about price plays real quick. Tell me about these.
So, excuse me, I just need a little bit of water. Okay, so price plays are essentially long shot plays, and they usually win around maybe 13% of the time. They don't win a lot, but they're in the money. I want to say 30 to 34% of the time. So you can utilize these price plays to really get some big payouts, and that's what we're looking at here. So you're seeing live odds, what they are. You can click on it, of course. Oaklawn Park, Copelia. Source is 9-2 right now in race number 1 at Oaklawn Park. It's early, of course, but you can find price plays here. Of course, you can sort them, and you can click on it, and it'll take you to the race, and then you'll see the money back. So Copelia is 6-1 on the EE morning line, which is the EquinEdge morning line, and so the morning line on this horse is 9-2. We've got the horse at 6-1. And there you go. It's a price play. So you never know. A horse like this in a competitive race, this horse could end up going off at 10, 12-1, and you get a price play, and you can include that horse in your exotics or even in the win. So again, it always is going to come down to betting.
Sure. Oh, that's good. So I love that it's really simple to go back to my dashboard, just click on the EquinEdge logo. So that's really the idea on price plays. They're horses with odds that are going to give you the chance to make some pretty nice payouts. And the idea here is like, it's at any time I can go here and it's real time. So if it wasn't early before the races start, all this updates in real time, and I can bounce to exactly where the next price play is or where the next top chalk is, so on and so forth. So all good stuff. Well, let's talk about top GSR. Obviously, genetic strength rating, it's one of those proprietary algorithms to EquinEdge, and we can kind of see, man, we've got an 81 GSR at Laurel, and right now giving us 5-1. So, I'm hoping that I click over here and this is a maiden race, right? Or maybe it's a first-time starter. Let's see what it is.
So if it's going to be up there on the dashboard, then it's going to at least be 5 points ahead of the next closest horse. So if you sort that 10, in this case 10, not only that, here's a couple of great things. Top win percentage, second Scotty pick, which is a separate algorithm, has 2 second place finishes and 2 tries at the distance. This is a player, an absolute player, and 9-2 on our morning line, and the odds makers morning line is what?
5-1.
So similar.
And then you've got a 3-1 horse here that's only half as likely to win the race. So, we're looking for the 2 horse and the 4 horse to take the money.
Yeah, no, this 7's a live horse for sure. Plots the dots. You look for stuff like that. That's the point. So go back to the dashboard. 10 points different on the GSR in comparison to
and hope. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the point of having these GSRs here, is that we want to show you all the horses that so you don't have to search for horses like this. So the way the GSR works here on the dashboard is if a horse is 5 GSR points ahead of the next closest horse, then it'll show up here.
Yeah, I remember watching this horse's last out. Triple tap, top win, tied for top win in the race, top Scotty pick. Looks like we're only going to get 4 to 5 on him.
Look at that. Look at this. 15 points difference. 14 points. 14 points. Like unbelievable.
And this is a maiden allowance for 3 years and up.
Yeah.
So,
now here's the thing. People say, "Oh, well, it's what's the morning line on the horse?" It's 4 to 5 on our morning line.
4 to
5. Okay. Yeah. I mean, and look. But bottom line is that this is a horse who's never gone 7 furlongs lifetime. So a lot of people that don't use EquinEdge, they don't know that this horse is really bred to do this. Like, this horse should improve. So go ahead and click on the handy view. Click on the horse real quickly. I want to show you something. let's see what he was. Okay, so it's a first-time starter for Bob Baffert and Flavien Prat, who yesterday won 6 straight races. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was in
the first race where he barely lost.
Yeah,
You know, that was the only race I bet Flavien yesterday.
Really.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Flavien. We had a lady in our community. She's just bet singled Pratt the first 4 legs of the pick 5, and then had coverage in the last leg, and he swept it. Pick 5 paid $38, I think.
I hit the pick 5.
Yeah,
my ticket was much bigger than the $38. So
but
it was pretty chalky.
But
have you ever seen a pick 5 at Santa Anita, or any big track for that matter, pay $38?
No.
With that big of a pool?
No, that was.
I thought I was seeing things when I pulled it up. I had to do a double take. I'm like, nah, that just really happened. But I mean, obviously, there's a lot of bullets here, 5 of them, and Bob Baffert, known for his his first-time starters. I mean, he gets them ready to run first time.
This horse might win by the length of the stretch, Scotty.
I'm curious though. Yeah, but here's the thing though. So get out of there real quick and click on look at the 3 horse. What's the story with this Barraza? I mean, 39% as well.
Yeah.
Right. It's another Bob Baffert horse, and it broke from the rail in the first 2 tries. You see that on post where it says post?
Yeah.
On the right there. Go down in the past performances. Post right there on the right. To the right of odds. There you go. No, right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's post, and then the size of the field. So you can see broke from the rail in both of his first time starts, Barraza. Here's the thing about a horse like this. I mean, this horse is supposed to run much better than this. You're getting bet 5-2 in both of those starts.
Yeah.
And now draws the inside. I'm thinking the 5 horse is a complete single.
Well, and so this is a spot where, do the jockey stand up here and let the horse just kind of ease in? But any time that a farm holds on to a horse, that's where you say, look out, like they expect big things from this. So
but this horse is not. This is not the same horse. This is not the horse that they had hoped. And I'll tell you why. Look at the first race of Barraza, 42 SOR. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, the medium is 50 for a maiden race, and that's a 42. This horse is 5-2. Only 5 horses in the race, 4 other horses, and comes in 4th in that race. Like, if you're this good, even if you break last like that, lacked room in the stretch, stuff like that, you're just, how do you not have room in a 5 horse field, 4 other horses? You're supposed to win a race like that. So for me, this horse has gotten overbet in the first couple of races. I think Bob Baffert knows it. I think Triple Tap is a single.
Yeah, sure looks that way, huh?
Yeah.
And this.
And I'll tell you what, I don't think the 3 horse even has to come in second. You see is it the 1 horse or the 2 horse? Let's get out of there. Get out of that horse's past performances real quickly, please. The 2, Open Eyes. Let's take a look at that horse right there, because that horse, all right, I mean, it just kind of hovers around, but I mean, you can see that this is the type of horse that probably gets second, right? So, I mean, this is the type of horse that I could see getting up for second, and you might even get 5 or 6 to 1 on a horse like this.
Yeah, you drop him back.
Whenever you see a horse, clearly this horse prefers sprinting, and you know why? Because look at the GSR. The GSR shows a 57 in that last race, going 8 furlongs on the turf. So the horse is going 2 turns for the first time, and then at the same time has to go on turf. Doesn't have a good GSR, but shows some speed before stopping late. This is the type of horse that you get now back on the cutback to 7 furlongs. And this is the type of horse that can get up for second.
We'll remember this for the tournament later, right? So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, good stuff. So let's head back over here. We've covered what our GSR looks like. And then like this whole idea down here of like what's hot. I think different players utilize this jockey trainer combo, horse for the course stuff. Like, give me your take on it. Like, what's the value proposition of the who's hot, what's hot sort of thing?
So it's an interesting thing. So some people have referenced it saying it's like roulette. If red has come up 15 times in a row, it doesn't mean that it's it's gonna, that black's gonna come up, the 17th time, if that's probably a terrible analogy, but the point is that I think that you can still find some value here by looking just to see who's doing well, who seems to be doing, on fire. And so in trainers right now, you can see 31%, there's a few of them. On jockeys, click on the jockeys. Let's look at the jockeys. Is there any hot jockeys? 31% as well. You have to be 30% or above in order to be here, and it'll show you the exact number. How about tracks? Which tracks are hot? Let's see. So, okay, so if you see my picture, a Gulfstream Park, the last 16 races, and you can click on the question mark right there, Chris. Go ahead and on the top right. Yeah, there you go. It'll show you. So tracks are hot when our top win percentage horse or Scotty's top pick have won 37% or more of the last 16 races.
Gotcha.
And then of course hot jockey 30% or more in the last 16 races. I like it. I love every part of the dashboard. I'll go check it out and just see, hey, is a chalk hot? And then it gives me a little bit more confidence because Mahoning Valley is hitting at 50%, the win percentages in the last 16 races. Does it mean the horse is going to win the next race? No, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think, we've went entire meets with this software where it just hits it more than a 50% clip. It's good to know. It doesn't change the size of the pools at Mahoning Valley though, right? Like if I'm a handicapper, like I'm still paying attention to that. But yeah, hey, we've been having a good run at Gulfstream lately, of course. Tampa, which traditionally I have trouble handicapping Tampa. I just get my brakes beat off me there. So if I'm looking at Tampa, I'm probably going to lean a little more heavily towards the system generated stuff than what I think, because I know what my hit rate is there and it's not 38%.
That's probably the best take, right? So if I said to you, Chris, I'm going to give you 8 hours to handicap Tampa Bay, and I don't care what the mutual is, they can be 2 to 5 shots. You get 8 hours. What would be your win percentage? What would you hit at?
20 to 25%.
Yeah, that's what most normal people would hit at. Really, really good players, maybe they would go, well, I'll just play the favorite and I'll hit it 32% of the time. That's great. The thing is, though, is that our system, our win percentages are hitting well higher than that, right? 36 and above with no handicapping. So what I'm trying to teach people is that you can start with that. Just start with that alone, and then you handicap from there, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean you play that 36% or 38% horse or top pick, but it's a nice starting point, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It is a great starting point. Again, get me to the horses that are competitive as quickly as possible and let me focus on building tickets. Like, you got to bet it right in order to win. And so building the tickets has to have, at least for me, I spend 70% of the time building tickets and 30% of the time looking at the horses.
Well, that's smart, because you really should focus more on the betting. And I think that this platform is your baseline, if you will. And then so now you just have to build from there. And if you're right about some of the changes you make, whether it's to the ticket generator, like we talked about in the last show, then you're going to excel. You're going to do well. So I think that at least here, you're starting from a higher level and not having to start from scratch. And that's the point.
Yeah. And like with jockeys, what do I know? I know that when jockeys ride with confidence, they tend to get their horses home. When they're willing to go through that slot on the rail, when they just feel like they can't lose, like when they're timing the rides right, when like they get on heaters like everyone else. Now, somebody like Tyler Gaffalione, a little more frequently than most, right?
Right.
And
by the way, Chris, these update throughout the day, right? So they it's still early in the morning right now, but they're going to start updating as each one goes off, then it goes away and the next one comes up. So it keeps on going. So I imagine you're going to see Flavian Pratt here. I look forward to see what he's hitting at.
Yeah.
It's not going to show Santa Anita right now because Santa Anita is not running till later in the day, but I imagine, well, there's not even a doubt in my mind, Flavian's going to be on here. So yeah, Florent Drew's hitting at 37% over at Oakland Park right now. Sheldon Russell at Laurel Park. is hitting at 37%. The other way you can use something like this too is just maybe maybe these aren't your key horses, but you're going, this guy's too hot to ignore, so I'm just going to add him.
Yeah. Well, something like Sheldon Russell at Laurel, for instance, like, man, if he's on one of Brittany's horses, like, you bet him,
Right.
Period. Like, that's a husband and wife, beautiful family. Like, they know what's going on in the barn. Sheldon's the top jock there. If Sheldon Russell's riding a Brittany Russell horse, you bet the horse, you include that horse. Right. And it's kind of like Pratt. Like, you leave Pratt out of your tickets at your own peril.
And I think that I think the key is that people need to understand that these are all tools. This is not telling you, go bet Isaac Castillo because he's hitting at 31%. That's not what it's telling you right there. It's telling you, hey, here's some good information and it's quick.
Yeah, but I'm at least gonna go look at FloJo at 4-1 when he's hitting it
a little bit closer.
Yeah, when he's at a 2-1 clip, right?
Right.
So I can just pop in here.
That was the race where Capella, the price play, is in as well. And Florage, and then what also enhances the situation for me is when you look at the 3 horse and you see that he's Scotty's top pick, he's 35%, and the EE morning line's got him at 7-5. Oh, and he's hot.
Yeah.
Right. So that's for me. Yeah.
Maiden allowance. The only knock is the GSR.
Got a low GSR for sure. I saw that too. And you've got a lot of horses that have never been 6 furlongs on the dirt that could show up. Interestingly, like the 2 horses, Scotty's second pick. What's the story with that horse? Fouette. And first time going 6 furlongs, cuts back, and it looks like that will be no problem for this horse, Steve Asmussen, Ricardo Santana Jr. And this horse is fast as well, but the 3 horse Montgomery Park is definitely a player for all those reasons. When we like to talk about when metrics line up, like you got a hot jockey, you've got a 35% horse, EE morning line 7-5, which is setting the morning line at what it thinks the betting odds are going to be in the end, off odds. But it also is kind of throwing fair value there. So it thinks that this is a player, and this is Scotty's top pick as well.
Yeah, and Munings, horses out of Munings, anything on the knock on the GSR is coming from the dam side. But how hot has Munings been as a sire? Like, I'm not scared of the GSR necessarily here. It could be a nice opportunity. 7-5 versus 4-1. FloJo up, what am I going to get? If it looks like 3-1 or better, I'll probably have him keyed up on a few things. But then in my horizontals, we've got to look at, the 2 horse, the 3 horse, the 9 horse in order to have coverage. And it's always Oaklawn. So I would never count out someone like the 10 winning the race outright. So.
Well, no, because here's the thing. There's some mixed feelings here because you got Montgomery Park, who's 35%. Yes. Top Scotty pick. Yes. But he's got a low GSR. So she's got a low GSR. So, sometimes you can't fire at stuff if things aren't completely lining up. Right. And then you've got the 2 horse Fouette, who's going first time 6 furlongs, but the horse's first couple of races has burned some money. So if you click on there on the handy view, you can see went off at 6-5, disappointed, had a perfect trip and had the outside post, and then hit the gate at the start in the last race. And so didn't run as well going 7 furlongs, now cuts back to 6 furlongs. I'm just saying, like, that first race, that horse should have won that race and didn't. So that makes me a little bit nervous. The SOR was at the medium, so of a 50. So I'm looking at this going, okay, so if you go ahead and close this out, so here's a good teaching point right now. You have 2 horses that are taking most of the win percentages. If you think these 2 favorites are vulnerable, then all of a sudden now every one of those other horses becomes a horse you have to look at. If you don't, then there's
only 2 horses in the race.
You just see what I mean? Like, so you have to make that. That's a decision that we all have to make.
Yeah.
You got a low GSR on the 3. Is that going to matter? Maybe, maybe not. It is, here's the thing. I do like finding value like this. So if you look at the 3-horse, he's 4-1 on the morning line.
Yeah.
And 7-5 on our morning line, 35% and top Scotty. There's 3 major metrics for us that are lining up.
Horse has been working lights out, by the way. I mean, hasn't been out since September, you know, runs a bullet, then 4th out of 39 after 16 of 61. You know, so question, how do I know, Scotty, if I wanted to see who rode this horse in September, is that here anywhere?
So we're going to have that. We don't have that yet, Chris. So what's going to happen is I hesitated initially because we have to create separate lines, kind of. So there's only so much space going across here, right?
Yeah.
So what we have to do is we've got to create a second line below that's going to show who the jockey was and stuff like that. But if you get out of there real quickly, I'll show you where you can go on the race view. Right there on Jockey Trainer, you can see who the current trainer and jockey is right there, and what their win percentages are, what the Jockey Trainer combination is. You can see that as well. Go to race number 2 at Oaklawn Park. I want to show you a pretty cool feature. Okay, so you can see here that Ramon Vasquez gets off of the 1-horse My Grace last time out. Now, whether he was taken off or he decided to ride the 7-horse Rosemary B, that I don't know. But you can see, you'll get that information there. And sometimes you'll see a bunch of jockey changes and you get that there. So that's pretty cool there, because you can see real quickly which jockeys are moving and going to which horse. So I think that's a great feature right there.
Yeah, that's man, just a jockey I love, like David Cabrera, man, this summer, hottest guy around, rides with a lot of confidence, younger kid, like definitely on the come up. So, you know, it's something to keep in mind, just Oaklawn though. And every day is like the Breeders' Cup over there, man. These purses, $93,000, everyone's chasing it. Like, don't ever be surprised about what happens at that track. I mean, we talked about Tampa being tough, Oaklawn, crazy tough. I know for me as a handicapper, when I'm doing it off of form, EquinEdge at Oaklawn has helped me immensely. You know, it gives me a better jump off point.
The Scotty Longshot has just been on fire. Go to race number 2 real quickly. I want to show you something. I noticed a bunch of 1% horses. So you see, and look at EE morning line is 50-1. Right, so you can sort like you just did there on the win percentages, and look at that 1%, 1%, 1%, 1%, 40-1, 50-1. Anyways, you can literally, at least the first thing I'm doing, I'm not even handicapping those horses. I'm eliminating them. All of those gone. Now I'm handicapped. You could get rid of that 12%, but I wouldn't eliminate them as fast as I did the other ones. I think it was it the 5?
No,
the 9.
2%.
Now it is 2%, but it's 12-1 on the morning line. So I'm looking a little bit closer. I would probably check the odds makers morning line, and it's 15-1. The Jockey Trainer combination is 0%. Not in the top 2 Scotty, not in the Scotty Longshot. So I'd probably get rid of him. Yeah, her. And then so now, why is that important? Because now we're only handicapping 7 horses.
Yeah.
You know, instead of 14 horses.
Yeah. And look at this, I got Cabrera on 33% right here.
That's only 3 samples. So to me, that really doesn't mean much. I don't think there's an advantage here with the Jockey Trainer combination. Maybe I would use the 3-horse because, you know, in 132 races, they've won 20% of the races. So 26 races. So
be careful of sample size there.
Yeah, you've got the sample size, and the sample size is extremely important, obviously. And then so now I'd probably sort here the GSR, because many of those horses have only like ran 1 time or no times at this surface and distance of 6 furlongs on dirt. And you get a horse that's in the 3-horse. I think you've got the Jockey Trainer combination, which we just looked at. You've got Olivian, I think has to be used, right? So then I would, if I wanted just quick action, he would be a horse I'd have to use. Well, why else would I? Or I was going to say I'd click on the handy view. First of all, he faced a 54 group of SOR, which is good.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. So go ahead and get out of there real quick, Chris. The other important thing to note here is that the top win percentage in this race is only 23%. I mean, this horse has got a 77% chance of losing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know he's a top Scotty pick, and he obviously can win this race. But to me, is there really a difference between a 23% and a 16% horse, like in the 13?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm seeing 23%. I'm seeing top Scotty pick. I'm seeing a good GSR in 62. I mean, I just don't see any high metrics here that are kind of tilting me one way or the other right now in what we've looked at. And this could be a spread race.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you could make money.
Yeah, exactly. And, let's just go ahead and play with our pick 4 here. We're going to play, I play dollar pick 4s. So let's see what it looks like for $48. Okay, so it's saying 4 and the 13.
I mean, it's tough.
Yeah.
That's a really tough sequence of 4 races in that pick 4. Only using 2 horses. I mean, you're talking, I think every horse could, I mean, you're talking about, this is going to pay.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I love the sequence, right? But it's going to be tough to get this thing home.
I mean, you're completely relying on the 13 horse and the 4 horse. I mean,
yeah. And so like
you have a decision to make, Chris. Here's what it is. You can make some changes to it, and of course we can click on the toolbar there and we can add horses if we wanted to.
Yeah.
But or if you want action, you just play it. And I mean, we had the other day people play the pick 6 over mandatory payout over at Gulfstream Park, and on $36 they hit it for, I think it was $1,100 or something like that. So I mean, you can do that. We always encourage to make changes and make a couple of changes to the ticket generator and what it gave you. So here's an interesting race. So watch this. So you could turn around and say, I'm going to take out the 11 horse. So go ahead and click on the toolbar. Yep, I'm going to click on the 11 and I'm going to click on the 2. They're not in the top 2, Scotty. Now I'm going to lock the race. I'm only going to use those 4 horses. Now regenerate. So if we are right about those changes, so now it added the 1 horse. Yeah, and by the way, that was good that you unlocked that so it could add horses if it wanted to. Okay, so if we're right about what we just did in the 3rd race, then we just made this ticket that much better by adding the 1 horse, who's the Scotty's 2nd pick as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Now let's go to leg number 4.
Okay. So we know we got our single here.
Well, we'll look at that. We're gonna have to look at that carefully. That's an interesting single. So in this race, maybe you got the EE morning line of 42%. Now, excuse me, 33-2. Excuse me, on the EE morning line, 42% horse, and She Dares the Devil.
Yeah.
So first thing I would do is go, I can't get to the 2 and I can't get to the 4, so I'm eliminating those, right? Just go ahead and eliminate them. That's just how I would handicap. Now go ahead and sort the GSR doesn't matter here, because look at the 1, 3, and 5. We've had 4 races, 3 races, and 5 races respectively, right? At this distance and surface. So the GSR really doesn't mean anything. And by the way, all 3 of them have good GSRs. Look at how high those are. Grade 3 race. Now the 3 horse Latruska is 3 for 3 at 8.5 furlongs on the dirt. But look, I mean, each of these horses has never been out of the money at this surface and distance. I mean, this is a really, really nice race here. We're looking at the Azaria Stakes, who, by the way, she was one of my favorite horses of all time, but absolute monster. So, that's a tough one. But here's the thing. Okay. Oh no, you know what? It was using more horses in that leg. So now lock the race. Let's lock the race.
How do I get back to?
You go to hide names.
Okay.
There you go. Now lock it.
So I lock it and then generate. So it added another horse in the first leg. Yeah. So I know that like I know that I locked that 13 out of the first leg. Should I unlock the 13?
Yeah, you should have unlocked it. You should have unlocked it, and then go ahead and unlock it and then regenerate. So it used that instead of the 10 horse.
Yeah.
Now, I might not have a choice, but to play the 9 horse as a single, but let's look at it. I mean, sometimes the system knows better than I know, but let's look at leg number 3. And let's look and see why it's using the top Scotty pick. Now, you can't get mad at it. You could say, why isn't it using a different, well, what else is it going to use? I mean, you're only playing a $48 ticket. It's a tough sequence of races.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you don't want to single this horse, you don't have to. And then you can go over in another leg. Let's just say you have a strong opinion. You can single another horse is what you can do. Sort the GSR. I'm curious. So it's interesting. You got an EE morning line of 9-2 on the 2 horse Cryo. So let's go ahead and go down below and click on view names so we can see the names of the horses. Okay, now let's click on that horse. So we're gonna look at the handy view now. It's a first time starter for Brad Cox and Florent Giroux.
Which we've already talked about Flojo and how hot he is right now. And you give him a first time starter out of the Cox barn.
Yeah, and the highest, is that the highest GSR as well?
Yes.
Right, 69 GSR. So yeah, I mean, right? I mean, this horse maybe is the real deal. And then let's look at the 9 now. So who's his main competition is the 9, name rejected. And I will say this horse has burned some money, yes. But those last 2, first of all, draws a good post, has tactical speed. Look at the SORs on those races. Those are off the charts. You don't see 60 SORs on, because I told you the medium is 50.
Yeah.
And for this horse to be at 60 is really incredible. I mean, this is the real deal. We could do. I mean, you probably cover the race if you just cover those 2 horses. I mean, maybe. So now you want to hide the names. Go back to hide the names, so that shows back up. Click on the toolbar.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to this first race, and okay, it's unlocked, so that's good.
Well, before you do that, though, go back to the 3rd race, and let's just add the 2. We have to add the 2, and now you want to lock the race. I just saw something there in the 4 horse. Did you see that? I think we should look at the 4 horse and the 12 horse just carefully first. So you click on view names because you want to see the horse. Okay, well, you don't even need to if you don't want to, but okay. A first time starter here. That's a really nice Larry Jones, Joe Talamo, Fox Hill Farms, 65 GSR. The workouts are tremendous. This is a player.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
Okay, so there you go. Now we're just realizing that, this race is tough, and the horse has 8%. So add that horse. Now let's look at the 12. Let's look at it. Okay, so you've got a 2nd time starter, faced a 48 group, ran a 3rd place finish on a muddy track. The workouts are tremendous. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this horse. The connections, Diodoro, Arriaga, I mean, 21%. I mean, but I think that we can't cover everybody. He has the 12 hole. I think I would probably play against the 12. I would probably cover.
Take my stand here. You give me Flojo and Cox with the other breeding. I'll play that versus this.
Well, the other consideration too is that the horse seemingly had a perfect trip, but it was a 48 SOR, which is not terrible. But at Oaklawn Park, we're seeing some nice horses there. So I think
60. It's not 60.
Not 60. That's for darn sure. So okay, so now you want to lock. Let's get out of there and lock the race. Okay, we feel comfortable now. Now regenerate just for the heck of it and just see how big the ticket is.
Okay, now we know that we're at 192 from up
but
here.
Go ahead and regenerate it. So
we know that.
So it comes out to 180 depending on the horses, and now we can handicap even more if we wanted to, and we could do that. But that's essentially, like, I think the 4 is a player.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I think so too. I mean
these workouts are tremendous.
Yeah, and then Talamo's been so good since going to Oaklawn. I mean, one of the best moves in his career.
Yeah,
was packing up his gear. So, Yeah, I like it. I might end up playing that. So
yeah, no, for sure. I think I'm going to end up playing as well.
Yeah. So in fact, I'm gonna, I know we've got the ticket book coming. So a lot of times, what I'll do is I'll just get out my little snip and sketch tool, and I will, I go over here and I just take a little screenshot of that ticket and put it in my pocket, and I'll save it for later.
For now, eventually you're gonna have the ticket book that's gonna be right below where it says start new wager, Chris.
Yeah.
You're gonna have, it's gonna say bet now.
Yeah.
Or save, it's gonna also say save ticket, right? So you're gonna be able to save the ticket, and then up above you'll be able to refer back to all your tickets you've got. You'll be able to track your tickets. So much more coming. Some really.
I think this pick for this particular sequence, I'm betting $180. I think you can pay anywhere between maybe high 600s to 1400, somewhere in there, maybe, depending on.
You just get one long shot in here for sure. But the thing about it is here's the thing: we got to remember that most people aren't going to be able to play a $180 ticket, and that's fine. What you have, completely understandable. But what you have to do now is you have to make a change. You have to make a decision, right? So for me, it would probably be in the first leg, Chris. Like, I don't know where else I would, or no, go to the fourth leg real quick. And yeah, so we've got, okay, so we have those three. So click on view names real quick. This is a big race. Grade 2 is Erie. And so let's look at each one on the handy view and see if we can do a separation here. So, okay, so
I know who this horse is, right? I mean,
right, of course. I mean, this is She Dares the Devil. Nice horse, is won over $1.2 million, and last time out went 9 furlongs in the Spinster. I mean, won the Kentucky Oaks. I mean, she's obviously a very nice horse, and she's been off. I think what they did was they freshened her up, and she's at 42%. And she does seem to be the type of filly that needs the lead. Well, no, maybe not. You can see it in Indiana, but that was a grade 3 race. A lot of times against better horses, the Kentucky Oaks, she was in second. So I don't, maybe she was just tired. Maybe she had a strong campaign, won the Kentucky Oaks, and a long campaign, and I don't know. So let's look at Latruska. So Latruska seems to have a future, but you do need to remember that this horse has only won grade 3s and had the lead.
I can tell you, like, my approach is like grade 1 horses win grade 1 races, and She Dares the Devil strikes me very much as a grade 1 horse. This, I understand the race here is a grade 2, but this horse seems to shine in those grade 3 moments. You can see when she's in G1 company, she runs like a grade 3 horse.
Good. And She Dares the Devil is fast as well, going to be all over. So here's the thing. It's not that Latruska can't win. She's won 12 races and 16 tries. She's fantastic. So for me, go ahead and close out of here, out of the handy view.
Okay. And
then I'm eliminating her. So go ahead and close out of there, and then click on the eye. Okay, and let's look at Yvonne Tute. Invitante. So here's a horse that's only ran 9 times. So that she has potential to continue to get better. She won a grade 3 race very easily, and then comes back in a grade 2 going 9 furlongs.
Wins for fun, right?
Wins for fun. So I have to use a horse like this because she has any kind of upside. She Dares the Devil's coming off a layoff. So I'm probably using her, but I would tell you this, depending on the size of ticket you're capable of playing, I'm singling She Dares the Devil, but close this out and regenerate. Now that we've eliminated the 3 horse out of here, then it's going to take this ticket and it's going to make it, oh no, because you didn't lock the race, it added more horses.
Right. I'd have to go lock the first leg, right?
You would have had to lock the first leg, but I'm not hating that it added the Scotty long shot in the first leg. Go back to the first leg. There, first leg. One more. There you go.
There we go.
There you go. Okay. So do we need I mean, so it's using all the horses we talked about. Like this, I actually prefer this ticket.
I love tickets shaped like this, Scotty, that are wide at first, narrow towards the bottom. Like this is the shape of the ticket that I look to play, because there's nothing worse than betting a $168 ticket and not getting out of the first leg.
No, and the thing is that although the 3-horse looks good in that last race in the Azeri, we're seeing, the 1 and 5 are like the real deal. You got the 1 that's up and coming, that's just won a grade 2 for fun and lightly raced. And then you've got the 5-horse, of course, the Kentucky Oaks winner, and She Dares the Devil. And I think, those are the types of risks. It's placement. You cover the 3, then you can't cover enough horses in here. And that's the decision making that you have to make. Now, if you don't want to play that big of a ticket, you could single She Dares the Devil. I mean, you certainly could do that. And that wouldn't necessarily be a bad single. I mean, and then now you're not playing as big of a ticket. Now you're cutting that ticket in half, right? So an $84 ticket is essentially what you've got if you were to cut that in half and just.
Well, remember, I can always drop this down to 50 cents. So keep in mind, this is a dollar play.
You do the dollar. Oh, that's a good point.
So that I like to play the dollar.
So if you drop that down to 50 cents, that essentially is an $84 ticket. That's not bad.
Right. Yeah.
That's not bad.
Well, so today we covered a lot about, dashboard and how to really launch your handicapping from the dashboard. Not required, right? I can always go up here to my ticker and just click on Gulfstream, right? And I can follow Gulfstream throughout the day, or a lot of times, like once I'm in race view, I'll just jump track to track. But keep in mind, like, let's go hit our dashboard, see what's coming up. Here's our big pulls that are coming up.
Upcoming pick 4, pick 5, and pick 6s. And what it does is when you see this, it's also taking any upcoming carryovers possibly, and it'll combine those. So upcoming carryovers on the right, upcoming pick 4, pick 5, and pick 6s. And it's great too, because when, you and I like to play for the bigger money. And so we can go straight to where the big money is and see where these current pulls are.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is good stuff. I think we covered a lot about the dashboard. We did another horizontal exercise with the ticket generator today. I think next time we get together, let's talk more about the notes feature and how to decide when to follow a horse, and we'll go from there. Thanks everybody for just tuning in, dialing up, checking out how to use the platform just a little bit more. And something to keep in mind, this little intercom feature down here, the little smiley face looks like the comment box. If you ever have any tech support issues, just click right there, let us know what's going on, and we've got live support for you anytime there's a challenge accessing, or if you feel like there's something in the software to report, please let us know.
Yeah, go ahead and click on that real quickly, Chris. I think it's important to know too, you can look up videos and tutorials and all sorts of stuff in there, right? So if you want to, like to say, find your answer now, just click on GSR, like type in, you could just put in GSR. You don't even need to do that. And it'll pop up videos. There you go. So there's an article on what is a GSR, and then you'll get that, and you can click on that. And there's Michael, and he's talking about the GSR. There's plenty of videos that I've done that are in there as well. When you want to get rid of that, click back on the arrow down below on the right. There you go, and it'll take it out. So, and then also you can reach Brad from there, or reach me, or reach Mike anytime there by send us a message. So
I just want to send a message and I say, hello, Brad.
Yeah, exactly. Hello, Brad.
Live from being live.
Yeah, or get your
whatever. Or how do I execute a password reset, or whatever you might have.
Yeah.
And then
and then put in there, by the way, no, by the way, no, don't. Yeah, no, and then also tell them, and by the way, your beard is very gray. Yeah.
And we gotta say, it's also beautiful. It is
he can grow a beard, let me tell you. Talk about a hipster.
Yeah, Exactly. So anyway, that's how you get to our tech support, our live support. Scotty, as always, good time. Go ahead and wrap this up for today. We'll talk about notes and following horses next time.
Sounds good. All right. Great job.
Awesome. Thank you.